How's the punters? Welcome back to the BSB Podcast, a round of 16 World Cup knockouts. It's been a pretty crazy group stage. The dust is all settled now, Simon. Talk about some topsy-turvy results on the final day. Those groups were pretty fluid looking at them while the matches were taking place. Some very, very interesting results. What are your thoughts on that,
Yeah,
Simon?
absolutely. I mean, obviously going into that final week, there were a couple only of teams who had already qualified, and you can expect to see some interesting results with some teams not having absolutely everything to play for. But that said, I mean, some amazing results, obviously in Group D, Tunisia beating France by a goal to nil. But unfortunately, those 3 points weren't enough for Tunisia to go through. And then obviously we had Morocco, who ended up taking the top honors in Group F, with their win over Canada 2-1. So yeah, really, really cool results. And I mean, I must say, I really enjoyed the match between Senegal and Ecuador. And
Oh,
very, very happy,
yeah.
very, very happy with that result. Obviously that's securing Senegal's place out of Group A, just below Netherlands there. So yeah, so interesting. We got Morocco, we've got three African teams going through. So I'm very, very, very excited for these round of 16 matches.
Yes, I think we were about 50-50 on our predictions for the group places. I mean, we had Group A, or pretty much right, with Netherlands winning. We had Group B with England, USA. We had Group C with Argentina, Poland. So those all went as expected. Then Group D, we had France to win, and then we had Denmark to come second. Denmark ended up last. Australia going through, very surprising there. And then Group E was the craziest, with Japan on top. Spain going through as runners-up. I don't think Spain will mind that too much, considering who they've got to play in the next round. It didn't really matter, to be honest. There, Morocco finishing top of their group, as we just mentioned. Croatia second. There, that one we got completely wrong. We had Belgium and Croatia going through.
Yeah.
We got Group G right. We had Brazil and Switzerland. That Swiss game was also pretty entertaining. Hey,
it was brilliant. The first game to go over 3.5 goals in the first half. And that was one of the ones which I fancied the Swiss there. And I'll say I actually feel quite sorry for Serbia, because I think they actually played a very, very good World Cup. And the fact that they finished bottom, I think is reflective of how competitive that group was. So I had the Swiss on the draw no bets, and I had Croatia on the draw no bets. So the Croatia one was a push and that one was a win. So I ended up in a bit of profit there.
And then Portugal and South Korea going through. I picked up quite a few SMSs from Betway this morning from winning bets that I'd taken on group winners. So I was pretty happy with that. I mean, I had Brazil, Belgium. I didn't take anything for the Spain-Germany group because I wasn't sure what was going to happen there. I had France to win their group, Argentina, England, Netherlands. So actually pretty profitable for me. But let's jump straight into the round of 16. It's the knockout phase. And there's no break in between the games, which is awesome. I'm very happy that I can watch some World Cup footy today and tomorrow. We don't have that many entertaining games, to be honest. Nothing really stands out as a must-watch match. But let's start off with the Netherlands versus USA. I think this is one of the best priced matches here. We've got Netherlands at 2.05, slightly over even money, and USA 4.1. Netherlands, I can't look past them here at even money, Simon.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the USA are certainly going to be slightly better prepared for this one. Having played Iran, whereas the Dutch played, obviously, the tournament host, being Qatar. So I just think they might be a bit better primed. I think you'll get a lot of punters back in the Netherlands here, and I see you like the price as well, close to evens. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I think it's one of those ones as well. You might sort of think afterwards, oh gosh, well, how could I have not taken the Netherlands at a price like that? But I think that USA have kind of performed to expectation, and I think it's a fair price, but I can totally understand why some people see some value in the Netherlands there.
So the problem with the USA is they're struggling up front. They're not scoring goals, and bookmakers aren't expecting goals in this either. I mean, under 2.5 is 1.56. So I mean, I was looking at that. I was like, ooh, that's what I'm going to bet on. And then I had a look at the price, and I'm like, ooh, I can't take that. So I'm going to go with. I mean, you can take the overall winner here. So what the overall winner means in the knockout stages is the team that actually qualifies for the next round. So it doesn't matter if they win in 90 minutes, if they win in extra time, penalties, whatever it is. The overall winner is the one that's going through. And I like that for an accumulator at 1.5. I know you're not so heavy on them. I'm not big on the Netherlands either. I just think they have a better squad than the USA. They're a bit more experienced than the USA.
Quite interesting that price is such a big gap from the match winner, and that obviously that's because of the under being favored by the bookmakers there. So they obviously think there is a good chance of extra time or even penalties. Sure, that is a big gap. I mean, 1.5.
This is a game that I do see ending 0-0. It is one of those matches that I can see that's going to have no goals in it. But I think I'm just going to go with Netherlands as the overall one to qualify. If USA make it through, then well done to them. It'll be quite an achievement, I think.
Yeah, I think for me this is definitely one I'm going to sit on the fence with. I must say that Netherlands price is tempting, but something's just sort of holding me back from pulling the trigger.
I was looking at the Uruguay game yesterday, and I saw Uruguay at like 1.8 or something to win against Ghana. I'm like, that's an absolute gift. And I took it, and it absolutely shat in. Wasn't really much of. Okay, look, obviously there was that penalty right in the beginning of the game, but sometimes these prices come around, and this is maybe not quite that, but I do feel you're getting a bit of value here on Netherlands. But I'm taking the safe route. I'm going with them to qualify. Then we have Argentina versus Australia. Australia 15 to win there. I don't see them beating Argentina. I think Argentina are going to romp this one quite comfortably.
Yes, look, I mean, Australia is a stubborn team, huh? Absolutely stubborn team. I mean, they've kept a clean sheet in their last 2 group stage wins.
Also not afraid to go forward. So
yeah, and look, I mean, Argentina, obviously, ruthless opposition. I actually like the unders here quite a lot, and that's at odds of 1.93. I just don't think Argentina is gonna have the easiest time, and I think that obviously Argentina have the weapons to break through that defense, but I think Australia does have a good defensive record, and I just think that unders is a bit of value there at 1.93. So that'll certainly be my bet for this one.
Yeah, I fancy that as well. I was looking at this one and I thought I was going to take Argentina on the handicap, but then I'm just like, oof, the handicap prices just weren't good enough for me to get involved because of not going to be. I also don't expect too many goals. I mean, minus 1.5 and Argentina's 1.74. I'm still tempted by that. But I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger. But I think that would be my bet for this one. I see this being like a 2-0 Argentina game. That kind of scoreline.
Yeah. No, look, I mean, looking at these fixtures as a whole, I think there are quite a few short price favorites here, and you just know that 1 or 2 of them are kind of not going to go through. And I'm finding it very hard to pick even 2 that I feel quite confident in. So it's quite tricky for me.
I think I'll add that minus 1.5 to the accumulator. But anyway, going on to France versus Poland, I think France are kind of short here at 1.33, to be honest.
I was going to say I don't think that price is big enough for me to back Le Bleu here. I mean, they're obviously the worthy favorites. I don't think Poland's done a hell of a lot to convince me that they are going to beat them. But I don't. It's a sort of inhibiting price for me. 1.3.
Yeah, it's just too short. If it was 1.4 or something, I might get involved. But it is just way too short. I can't call this game for goals either. And it could be a 1-0 sort of match. Poland aren't that bad defensively. Both teams to score. Not so sure about that either.
I think this is the kind of one where you want to try maybe back France in play after and get a slightly bigger price. If you can get 1.5 in play, that might be the way to go. But I can't back that price pre-match.
Yeah, there's nothing in this match that I can find kind of value for in the usual markets. There might be some exotics with corners or cards or something like that, but that's not really my betting vibe. Then England versus Senegal. England are pretty nicely priced at 1.54. I actually think that's a decent price against a Senegalese side they're decent, but I think England are going to win this one quite.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't say I haven't been impressed with Senegal, especially missing Sadio Mane. Obviously that's a real blow for them going into the World Cup. So I really hope they can keep pushing. Yeah, look, I think, again, this one, it looks sort of priced right to me. I mean, England have kind of blown hot and cold. We know that they can totally open this team up if they get things right. So is this the game that they kind of come alive? The bookies certainly fancy this one to go unders. So I think a bet that I like for this one is maybe is a halftime 0-0 correct score.
I like that for quite a few of these, to be honest. I mean, it's come through in
And
pretty
that's
much half of the World Cup matches so far.
it has. I mean, that's certainly been a bet that would have made you profit because
Oh,
generally
absolutely.
it's priced at least at 2.2, 2.25 and sometimes up to even 2-1, so threes. So it's certainly a bet that would make you profit. And I think in this game, it looks a nice bet, and 2.45 is pretty decent odds. So yeah, maybe a 0-0 halftime correct score. That's the way to go for
I
this one.
fancy that one as well. Maybe even something like Senegal to score first and England to win is also like a bit of an outright if you're looking for a bit of a long shot.
Long shot.
Then we have Japan taking on Croatia. Japan, I think they are happy that they don't have to face Morocco, to be honest. I think they'll have a much better chance against kind of sluggish Croatia. I don't want to really say they're sluggish, but with the work rate that Japan puts in, and Morocco is a similar team to Japan. They've got fast, strong wingers, players, that kind of thing. So I think they're happier to play Croatia than.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And I mean, I'm glad to see the Japanese kind of getting the respect they deserve in the odds. And look, I mean, as we mentioned earlier, yes, those wins of Japan, well, the second one does come with a little bit of an asterisk next to it.
Yes, a big asterisk that's over the line.
Sure. Yeah. No, fair enough. I must say this is one that I think we might sort of look back in retrospect and think those were huge odds on Croatia. Actually, when you look at it, I mean, they could go on and beat Japan quite handsomely here. We know what they're capable of. So I must say, I'm quite tempted to back Croatia at odds here, which I think are much bigger than they would have been pre-tournament.
Yeah.
Much bigger. I mean,
I would have if you showed me this is a knockout or something, or even a group stage match, I would have said this is Croatia 1.8.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say 1.75. So exactly. So, and yes, Japan have done enough to certainly shift that opinion a bit, but has it done enough to shift the opinion 5 ticks? I don't know. Like, to me, that might be a little bit of an overreaction. So, and look, Croatia haven't like shot the lights out at all in this tournament. So I don't know, but I just think that far over even money on a team like Croatia to beat Japan might look like a gift.
It does. It's like the Netherlands one, except I think it's even better than the Netherlands one, to be honest.
I think this certainly, I think to me this has more value than the Netherlands. I think Croatia here, I mean, even a Croatia drawn a bet, which is obviously going to be much shorter odds, but sure, I mean that seems fairly safe to me.
I'd rather take Croatia to. Well, the drawn a bet counts for 90 minutes. You got Croatia, so the drawn a bet is 1.5. Croatia to qualify is 1.56. So I'd rather go into 1.56.
Yeah,
to be honest.
That said, I mean, we were just talking before the podcast. I think you underestimate an Asian nation's pride at your own peril. But I think the bookies have gone a little overboard on this. So yeah, I think Croatia looks some value there.
Yeah, I'm taking Croatia to qualify at 1.56 in our accumulator here. Then we have Brazil taking on Republic of Korea. I'm not sure if Neymar's going to be back for this game. I don't think it really matters that much. I can't see anything, look past anything but a Brazil win. It's kind of like the France game. I can't find much value. Maybe both teams to score, but Brazil's defense has also been pretty class.
It has been good, and this is knockout football now. I think this, if we're going to see Brazil start to play, it's obviously going to be now. There's no, they obviously can't lose any more matches to go through. So I mean, I expect we'll see a full strength side. I don't really see any value in that price on Brazil, but I think they've got to be the right side. I'm not sure if backing a handicap is the right way to go, but I think Brazil might be fairly safe in an accumulator. Yeah,
maybe Brazil to score to win to 0. I'm not sure what those odds are. Yeah, 1.65, just not good enough.
That's not good enough.
I mean, both teams to score. What is that? Let's have a quick look at that price.
That must be
2.4. Ooh,
yeah,
that is. But yeah, I'm just gonna put Brazil straight up in the accumulator. I don't know what's gonna happen in this match. I think Brazil will win it. But Brazil haven't exactly set the stage on fire stage line as well with goals and all of that stuff. They've just been consistent, if I can call it
Yeah,
anything.
they have been consistent. I mean, maybe they are playing the right kind of football and kind of conserving their energy, conserving their best performances or reserving their best performances at least for the knockout stages. But yeah, we haven't seen them at full tilt yet for sure.
Then Morocco versus Spain, and I've got to say, Spain at 1.59. Did not expect that. That's quite a price against. Look, Morocco are they're not an amazing side. Look, I don't want to talk them down. They've got some quality players. I spoke about it a bit earlier, the power and the pace that they've got in that squad. But this is Spain. Spain are going to sit on the ball the whole time. And Morocco is going to have to hit them on the counter attack. I mean, what was the stats in that game against Japan? They had like 70-something% or 80% possession against Japan, and they still lost.
Yeah,
Spain, but I think Spain win this one. I can't see anything other than a Spain win here. 1.59 is not quite enough for me to get involved on the straight up, so I might just take the Spain to qualify. 1.26 not really worth it as a qualification winner there though.
Yeah, you see this one I kind of in a way feel a little bit the same as the Croatia match. The difference being though that the price of, so let's say if we called this pre-tournament, this, Spain might be sort of 1.3 here, say, right?
Yeah.
And they're 1.57. But to me, I would much rather take a team which would be, which is 5 ticks bigger, and taking Croatia, which probably would have been 1.8, and you're getting them at, much bigger. So it's yeah. Look, I think that Morocco have certainly done enough to justify their price, but yeah, I think Spain take this, honestly.
Yeah. I'm just not sure if I should put that 1.59 in the accumulator. Let's do it. Let's trust in Spain. Then we have Portugal versus Switzerland, and I think this is quite an interesting one. I think a lot of punters are going to fall for the trap of the Portugal 1.95 price. As much as I like it, I still, and I was saying this before the tournament, the Swiss are a very, very solid side. They're not going to roll over. Portugal are good, but they're coming up against, European, like solid European opposition now. And I think this one is one that I reckon could go to extra time, could go to penalties, could be one of those kind of 0-0, 1-1 draws.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not backing Portugal here. If anything, I would be getting with the Swiss on a double chance or something. I'm not sure how confident I feel about that, but Portugal under even money here is not worth backing.
No.
I think even a full-time draw at 3.4, not the best odds, but yeah, even for a draw, those are low odds. But yeah, I think that Switzerland are going to give them a very good run.
And bookmakers really aren't expecting goals in any of these knockout rounds. I see the unders are all well under even money, hovering around 1.6, 1.5. It's just it's yeah, and you can't back them at that price. But maybe a normal draw in this one at halftime as well, I think might be worth taking. I can't quite find no goal in the first half is 2.46.
2.46. Okay, so it's pretty much exactly the same odds because I was at 2.45 with the England Senegal game, so same price.
This is a little bit bizarre. So first half, first goal, no goal, 2.46. Under 0.5, first half is 2.49.
Yeah, that happens sometimes where the markets don't quite
correlate.
Even though they're exactly the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I fancy under 1. Sorry, I fancy a 0-0 draw in this one at halftime, to be honest. If I was going to take any bet, just because of the value, I think that's pretty decent value there. Cristiano Ronaldo to score a penalty or something like that as well. But I don't want to pick a winner in this. Although I do think Portugal will progress, but I can't write off the Swiss.
Yeah, to me, this game really could go absolutely either way. I honestly don't think there's that much separating the teams. Certainly, backing Portugal at that price seems crazy to me. Yeah.
All right, Simon. So that's us covered all of the knockout matches. 3 days of football. It's gonna be lovely. I just don't like these 9 o'clock matches. They're just a little bit too late for me. Like going to
and gosh, especially with just the amount of extra time we've had.
Yeah.
Kind of have to add on at least 15 minutes to each match. So yeah, it does end up finishing quite late.
And before we finish off the preview, let's have a quick look at some of the outrights. Has your opinion on the outrights changed? Brazil's hovering around 3.15, Argentina's second favorite. Thing is, those two are going to have to meet at some point.
Yes, they will. I don't think. Look, I mean, I don't think my opinion's changed since we chatted on Tuesday, and that I don't think we've seen the best of Brazil. But that there could be very good reason for that. They've shown moments of brilliance. I don't think they've done anything to be knocked off the pedestal. Like, I don't think that they've done anything bad enough to not be favorites anymore. We haven't seen the best of them, but that's quite common in a World Cup, where you kind of see the best side when they go through the knockouts. So I don't think. I mean, these odds I don't think really have changed actually all that much since the end of round 2, in terms of the top 3 or 4 favorites.
It's just Spain. Spain have come in quite a bit. Well, not
Spain have come in a bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
France have drifted a little bit, I think.
If I was going to back an outright here, I would much rather take a long shot like Croatia at 40s or something like that.
I'm also thinking that Croatia, even England, maybe find the best price you can find on England, because you get them to the final, you can actually cash that bet out by betting on the other side. I still fancy that Brazil versus England final. Even Brazil versus France, that's the favorite at the moment at 7.05. And I've taken quite a few of those, so I'm hoping all the big sides go through that, so that my name the finalist bets can come through for a very nice payout. I've just taken so many of them.
Nice. Yeah, look, the thing with France is I just can't look. I keep worrying about the fact that they are missing a lot of key players, and I wonder if that'll catch up with them. I mean, they obviously do have a very, very deep squad, but I still think that it's, the fact that they are missing so many key players, I think might catch up with them, and so that's stopping me from backing them.
Right. So here's a recap of our accumulator for the round. We've got Netherlands to qualify against the USA. We've got Argentina. I'm not sure about Argentina minus 1.5, but let's leave it in there. Croatia to beat Japan or to qualify against Japan. Brazil to beat Korea, and Spain to beat Morocco. That's paying almost 9.0 with a little bit of a boost there. So I'll put a sneaky 100 Rand on that one. It's going to pay just under $900. That's going to be our accumulator for the World Cup round of 16 knockouts. Simon, your bet of the week, I'm assuming you're probably going to go with Croatia.
Yes, that's definitely going to be my pick. I think that they are being slightly undervalued here. It's just it's because of the opposition, obviously. But I just think that this is one of those bets you're going to look back and think, oh gosh, how could I not seen that?
Yeah.
It's sort of, I think it's a little bit of recency bias coming into play there with the odds.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go with a double of England and Brazil. You're going to get just under even money on that double. So that's England to win, Brazil to win. Let's put on 200 on that one. That's going to return just shy of $400. We'll put that one through there as well. And let me back your Croatia pick as well for 100. And hopefully we can come through with a clean sweep on for the quarterfinals. When are the quarterfinals taking place? I think there's going to be like a couple of 5-day gap or something, or a 3-day gap.
Is it even that long? Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be that. I would imagine it'd start on the weekend if the knockouts finish on Wednesday. Is that right?
I'm just busy having.
No, they finish on Tuesday. They finish on Tuesday, so I think we'll be starting on Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Friday. Yes, they're starting on Friday. So 3 days after the last round of 16 match, we're going to have the first sets. Yeah. So it's going to be Friday and Saturday by the looks of it. And then the semis are going to take place on Tuesday and Wednesday. And yeah, so we're coming towards the end of the tournament, which is nice. It's been a bit of a strange tournament, but anyway, we'll get into that in the next episode. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully your predictions for the upcoming games are going to be winners, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Have a good one. Cheers.